So now that you know how to basically enter information, your survey data, into Auriga, let me show you some of the cool features for viewing your data that is available in Auriga. So as you're going through, maybe you want to occasionally check and see how far you've gone, how deep you are. If you want to see your statistics, then if you come down to the menu button and click on that, and you can see the drop-down menu, and you can click on caves and then statistics, and it will show you your development, your total map length, your vertical extent, survey shots, and all these other fun statistics to look at. So that's kind of fun to see as you're going through the cave, instead of getting out and then entering it all in Compass and then later finding out. It's nice to get instant results. So another way that you can view your data is in the list view, and you click on this button down by the house, and you'll see a list of your survey stations. If you click on the header, it will sort by whatever you choose, whatever you click on. If you click on the shot button, it'll sort by shot, by session, by however you choose to sort your data. To get back to the shot window, you just click on this little double page icon by the list tab. And now probably the big thing that a lot of people want to see as they're going through is their actual line plot, so they can see what the cave is doing visually. So you click on that little squiggly line that I just clicked on, and let me go back and show you where that is again. Down here in the corner, this little squiggly, click on that and you'll see your line plot. And right now we're looking at the top view. You can see right here down at the bottom it says top view. If you select that, you can do west-east profile, south-north profile, extended profile, and projected profile. So let's take a look at our south-north profile. You've got, let's go back to top view. Under zoom, you have a lot of other tools that you can use to navigate through your line plot. So the zoom, to use that, just click and drag out a square and it will zoom in. So if you just click once and don't click and drag, then it won't zoom. So the pan tool you can use to navigate through your document by panning around. The info tool is helpful if you want to know the distance from one station to another. And let's view our stations so that we can see where we're looking at. Click on this little page button in the lower left-hand corner, and we'll go up to our station. And all of these items here have to do with the view. So we want to see station names. And so I want to know the distance from A4 to A2. With the info tool, actually with let's use the line tool for that one. So I click here on A4, drag over to A2, and it tells me I'm 13 feet away, 13 in the X direction, 4 in the Y direction. And the info tool is, if you click on your line plot, it'll show you that you are on the A1 to A2 station, and the A2 station is the active one that you've clicked on. And so those are the main tools that I'll go over here. And then in the view, or the display menu, if you want to see your grid, you can click grid, and let's see, why is it not doing that? Grid. I think I need to zoom out. I'm zoomed in too close. That's the problem. There we go. So we zoom out just a little bit so I can see my grid, where these are 10-foot squares. So this matches up exactly with my survey book. I really no longer have to use my protractor anymore, because I can put a point right about here on my grid and another one right about here and just draw that line, and it's a lot easier and faster way to go through and draw my line plot. And let's go to the pan tool so I can move around there. So that's one of the ways that you can use your grid as you're doing your sketching. And also, if you want to see your walls, you can click on walls. Let's do walls fill passage so we can see what the passage is doing. So now I'm looking at my walls filled in, which is just kind of fun to look at. And you could also have loop errors, and we don't have any loops here, but if you do show your loop errors, then if A2 is tied into A4, so we go A2, A3, or A1, A2, A3, A4, and it's coming back here, and it doesn't quite line up. Let's turn this off. Then where if A3 or A4 to A2 ended up, the line came over and ended right here, then this section right here would have a dashed line to show you that it's not completely closed. And then you could go back into your survey data and fix that, and you could visually watch what it does and get it really close to closing. So that's if you have the loop errors checked, that'll show you that dashed line. So let's go ahead and exit out of here. Oh, one more thing too, the zooming in and out. You can use that zoom tool, or you can use the plus minus tool. If you've zoomed way into a really complex cave and you want to see the whole cave, click and hold down on the minus, and it brings up a list of different zoom factors. We're going to zoom to the full map. Let's click that, and we've zoomed all the way out to the full map. So now let's go back into our shot. And let's see, I think we'll do one more tool here. This is one of the newer features. It's called Sketch to Scale. And before we use this, we have to go into our preferences, I believe. Let's check and make sure that's the right one. Preferences and map. Yes, that's where we want to go. And we have our paper grid. This number here represents each little tiny square on our grid. So right now it's at 1 inch. And you can do it feet, meters, whatever you choose to do. I know that my small squares aren't 1 inch, but they're 0.1 inch. So 1/10 of an inch is each square. So I'm going to set that to my grid. Click OK. And now, if I click on this Sketch to Scale button, the little pencil, it tells me from wherever I put a point on my grid that in the X direction I should go over 2 squares and up 5 and draw a line or draw a point and then connect those lines, and that will be the A1 to A2 line. And let's hit OK. And all these others have to do with our walls, our left, right, our up, down, our slope. All of this information tells us how many squares to go over and how many squares to go up. So we need to go 2 in the X direction, 5 in the Y. Let's hit OK. And now we'll go back into our map with our grid. So A1 to A2, that looks like it's about 2 squares over and 5 squares up. So that worked out perfect. And then you just draw a point there and a point here. So if you're going through and someone is surveying, then you can click on, let's go back here. You can click on your Sketch to Scale button, and the person who is collecting the Auriga data can yell out, okay, you go 2 squares over, 5 squares up. They really quickly draw their line. They throw away their protractor and never use it again. And that's how you use the Sketch to Scale. And you can read more about this, the features in Sketch to Scale, by going to the Auriga website and into the user manual. So.